is the Patriot.
Hey, this is Skylar.
My name's the Devil's Rejects. I'm the big-time wrestling heavyweight champion, Flex Armstrong.
I'm the Kennection.
Rusev Day every day.
It's Rusev Day every day.
Exactly.
And you're watching the Wrestling Connection.
And you're watching Wrestling Connection.
And watch the Wrestling Connection. You're watching the Wrestling Connection.
I hear that women gain immortality from licking the feet of babies.
What? Say.
Be connected, get connected, and stay connected, brothers.
Allison.
Hello, Allison, and welcome to the
Be connected, get connected, stay connected.
Let's get the big. Oh, of course, we have the official present.
Connected, be evil, or die.
Moving on.
Be connected, get connected, stay connected.
You know what? James, do you remember the first time you watched wrestling, just in general? Like the very first thing you remember?
It was either after the invasion angle.
We're going way back.
I thought like if you want to have like a nice thing to start off with, maybe we discuss our first things we remember, because I don't think we ever actually mentioned that on TV.
I mean, I think we did discuss how long we've been wrestling.
How long we've been wrestling fans, but our first memory of watching wrestling.
Okay, our first actual memory,
Not just match or first
not just
angles.
first pay-per-view or first superstar, like our first memory.
Yeah.
Okay, that's definitely fair. I mean, for me, my first memory was like when my family had just moved to Washington Street in Bedford. Like we were still kind of setting up everything, so we hadn't gotten everything properly installed, including cable at the time. So like when we put the TV downstairs, like it was still into the old couple that used to live there. It was still into their cable hookup. So I ended up coming across the pay-per-view. I ended up coming across WrestleMania 17.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember, actually, no, I do remember, because it was, I think it was a replay. It was a replay. It was the last match. It was near the end of Stone Cold versus The Rock WWF Championship. And I remember Stone Cold and Vince McMahon shaking hands, and like the announcers absolutely gobsmacked.
Austin is shaking hands with the devil himself.
They're shaking hands, and Heyman's just stunned. They're shaking hands. It's like he's supposed to be the heel announcer, and he can't he can't believe that is happening. Like this is literally like a hell frozen over kind of moment, and it's something you would never expect. And a lot of people kind of signaled it as being the end of, I mean, I didn't realize it at the time, obviously, but a lot of people signaled that as kind of being the end of the Attitude Era, because that was the crux of it, because that was Austin versus McMahon. That was like, the employee rebelling against the boss, and now it's suddenly the employee becoming, subservient to the boss.
That's fair.
Like still thinking like, oh, I'm still kicking ass and I'm still taking names, but now Vince McMahon's my boss is my friend, and it's like, no one wanted to believe it. No one wanted to, and I mean, I remember because you
have to remember like when the heel turn just did not work. It wasn't just he was subservient; he was a coward, like with Kurt Angle.
I remember because I remember Jim Ross was asked about it years down the road, and I remember
it's like John Wayne being a Nazi general.
Exactly.
Wow.
It was like John Wayne being asked to play a Nazi. Like
that's what JR said.
Exactly.
That was his description.
Like John Wayne's a professional. He's an actor. He will do his.
He's the outlaw.
He will do his level best to put on the best performance possible. Just like Stone Cold did. Stone Cold, believe me, he tried to play the cowardly heel. He tried to do everything he could.
John Wayne was
get
always
people on his side.
Wayne was always the outlaw.
Like, I mean,
What is Austin? The outlaw, the rebel.
And exactly, but the problem is, it's just like people just couldn't fully invest in it, and people couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So basically, like you said, you said you came in around the end of the invasion. So literally next night after the invasion, it's like, okay, you know what? We're going back to same old. Stone Cold's back to being the anti-hero rebel.
Literally right after the invasion.
Right after the invasion, the end of Raw.
Going back to being the
Ric Flair's being the
suck up, and Vince McMahon's back to being the heel owner, and now we got a face owner in Ric Flair.
And Ric Flair, out comes Austin. Oh, he's a babyface.
So I mean, because I mean, you came in around end of invasion. I came in right before the invasion started.
That would mean I'm actually before both of you, because of my very first memory, I believe I was watching UPN 9 in the basement, and it was an on TV battle royal, I would have to assume, and it was won by The Rock. Mm-hmm. And later there was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Undertaker, with Vince McMahon in Undertaker's corner and Shane McMahon in Austin's corner. This is actually before their first blood match, because that was the first pay-per-view I remember. Was they were saying that Austin has to now defeat Undertaker in the first blood match, and because I was so young, I was like, well, that's not fair. Undertaker's dead. He doesn't bleed.
I know, I was the same way. I was just about to mention, like, I remember seeing, like, the segment with Rock being laid out by the NWO, stuffed into in 2002, being stuffed into an ambulance, like, the NWO stopping the ambulance.
I just watched that story.
Hogan hijacking a semi truck and running it headlong and running it like T-boning the ambulance. And I remember running up to my mom, screaming, "Mommy, you should see what they did! The rock out here is in an ambulance!" And like I'm hyperventilating, and she's like, "Calm down. It didn't actually happen. It did happen. I saw." And it's just like,
I want you to take that version of you and have it in the moment where Braun Strowman flipped the ambulance.
oh my God, I'd be running and hiding under my bed. Like I'd be petrified that there's this 7+ foot man who can like topple an ambulance. Like I'm getting out of here.
Oh man, sorry, I just had a quick feeling like, man, Big Show, Mark Henry, and Braun Strowman at their peaks, like who can lift the most?
Andre.
Well, I mean, Andre could literally tip a small foreign car. Yeah. I mean, I think that's actually where they got the expression from, because he actually did that with like 4 people in it, 4 grown men in it. So it's like I don't doubt. I mean, obviously before the acromegaly really set in on him, the fact that he could do that without really wasting your breath.
If anyone ever wants to know a fun thing about Andre, look up a picture of Andre the Giant holding a beer can. Just look at the dimension of his hand with the beer can. It doesn't even fit past his palm. It is insane how big this guy was. By the way, hello everybody.
Hello. Welcome to, obviously the most talked about podcast to ever hit the WCTV airwaves, or any airwaves for that matter. North, south, east, west, backwards, frontwards, diagonally, sideways, any which way you look at it, all around the world. The Wrestling Kennection. Now we're coming to you on October 25th.
I believe it's October 25th.
October 25th, 2025. For the 1 or 2 people who watched us back in May, you may be wondering, why are we coming to you so late? Well, you see, I mean, obviously they're like, personal and professional commitments outside of the show. So I mean, obviously we all have our own, our own lives. Mm-hmm. I know, shocking for wrestling fans, we actually do have lives. Alert the media. But no. So I mean, it's been a long while. It's been a long while. Plus, I mean, we had, not to mention, there was some kind of technical issues with the first episode. So we're piecing this together with the other one. Both of them are going to be
around the same time. They should be airing within like hours of each other. They should be within
hours
day.
of each other. So it'll be double the connection, double the fun.
Yep, starting from before Mania to getting close to the end of the year. So we actually have a full breadth of things that have happened throughout this year. That
there's a lot to cover. We'll I mean, we got like 2 big points. Mm-hmm. We got a few hot topics to cover, and plenty of juicy wrestling tidbits.
Of course,
to talk.
I mean, you're talking to 3 wrestling nerds. Like, what? You think there's not going to be tidbits or hot takes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No.
So, I mean, God, where do we start? I mean, there's, like, so much as... I mean, okay, actually, I'll start with one of the first hot topics. The fact that, Seth Rollins out indefinitely with a shoulder injury.
Yeah. Months is giving it... the general treatment. We do not know when he's going to be back. We definitely don't think he'll be back by Mania.
I mean, the first instinct was, okay, they're pulling another scam here.
Like I mentioned, this is near end of the year. We've already had the ruse of the century, where I mentioned this in the parking lot on a Saturday Night Main Event. Triple H kind of couldn't help himself by cutting down the time of Goldberg's retirement match by having an angle where Seth Rollins actually got hurt, and they were going to have that be the running thing up until CM Punk won the belt, because at the time, Rollins was also the Money in the Bank holder.
Right.
So we've already had one instance of, no, he's not really hurt. But wait, is he really hurt?
I mean, in this case, he is legitimately hurt. It came as a result of that odd coast to coast flying headbutt, which I don't know what he was.
I feel bad. I don't even like when Bryan Danielson does it. No one should be doing the flying headbutt anymore.
No one should be doing a coast to coast. I mean,
let alone a coast to coast.
Because first off, your target should be on the ground, because they are the ones who cushion your fall. Mm-hmm. Second, so he's basically just doing a flying headbutt into a corner opponent and hitting the. There's no. Because here's the thing, you're doing coast to coast. Because here's the problem, you can't do it like this, because otherwise your arm's gonna end up catching the ropes, and that's gonna end up being worse.
Yeah, if you look at the angle which he's going, it's literally head first, head and shoulder first.
Like he's literally like turning his shoulder, and it's like you're
basically eating a face bump.
You're gonna blow out your shoulder.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did. He blew out his shoulder. You could tell, like it was decidedly limp, like disturbingly so. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, okay, yeah, something's. Either, because
I missed that
my
part.
First instinct was, like I said, after the whole ruse of the century thing, okay, either this is a work, or like really good work, or he's hurt again.
I mean, he was seen walking around with a sling before Raw, so it was already.
Well, he was also walking around with crutches, and how did that go?
Yes, but was he seen wearing a sling on Raw? I don't believe he was.
No.
So they didn't put attention to it the way they did the ruse.
Right. So basically, they did what I guess people were expecting, but at a much earlier time. They pulled the trigger with Braun and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed turning on him, laying him out, and then it's like they sell it as like they sell his shoulder injuries like being as a result of that massive assault, and now he's been stripped of the world championship. It's being held in abeyance. Again,
Vacant wins again.
That abeyance has won an awful lot of world champions.
Oh yeah, Vacant, 100%.
Right up there with vacancy.
Yeah.
Right up there with Vacant. But
more titles than John Cena.
Exactly. So now obviously it's been vacated.
Yeah.
CM Punk was in line for the title shot, so he's. Instead of just simply hoisting the title onto him, which obviously that's not the case, they had a battle royal. Had a number of notable names in there, including AJ Styles, who had a fantastic match with Cena at Crown Jewel Perth.
That's currently my highlighted match. Like, that was just...
Like, there were so many amazing callbacks. Like, I mean, not just on Cena's end, but also AJ's end. Mm-hmm. Like, with the
Cena-Sami Zayn match from his last last SmackDown. Mm-hmm. That one was good, too.
Yeah, exactly.
It was the same thing.
Well, yeah, but there were so many.
There was more in the AJ
starting
match.
with The Miz and then going
the skull crushing finale, the Coquina clutch, the sister Abigail.
Not only the Sister Abigail, but specifically the Elimination Chamber catching AJ out of the phenomenal forearm into the Sister Abigail. It was the exact same spot.
Exactly, because I mean, like, you have to. Cena and Styles were there for probably Bray Wyatt's crowning achievement in WWE.
Not to mention, and speaking of a hot take, I feel John Cena just gave AJ Styles what could be considered a retirement match because because he doesn't think the WWE will do it enough. He gave him like a specific special introduction.
Right.
They held up each other's hands. They gave a send off match.
That was a pleasant surprise. I
obviously AJ didn't know, especially when they called out the boss of the Bullet Club. He was like, okay, so we're going there apparently.
Yeah.
And then like you see AJ winning the tag titles earlier in the night on Raw, the night of the Battle Royal. He and Dragon Lee, and it's like, you know what? That's good because like he's a veteran. He wants to give a kid like Dragon Lee the rub. He wants to give him a little boost on his way out. That's great.
Yeah. And he's also said 26 is going to be his last year.
Yep. Question: do you think the reception of AJ Styles versus John Cena has led to AJ actually getting more spotlight?
I think the fact that
I think
the fact that they gave him the tag titles is just like, okay, you know what? Here's a little token of our appreciation. You put on a great match. And obviously the fact that he's gone on record on social media saying, yes, 2026 is going to be his line. I think obviously they're going to try to make him look as good as possible before ultimately having him put over someone, maybe Dragon Lee, maybe someone else that gets brought up to the main roster.
Imagine Dominic Mysterio actually gets that the nod for...
I would kind of...
Because I don't think it's going to be for John Cena.
I mean, Dominic's kind of already gotten that rub from AJ.
From AJ? He already got
AJ,
that.
Yeah,
he's already gotten like 2 big victories.
Okay, who do you think should get
3.
that honest rub from AJ for a final match?
For a final match? I mean, I honestly can't... you can't go wrong with a Braun Breaker or a Bronson Reed. Like, I mean, you want to like further establish them as like curriculums. I mean, imagine this. Like you hear Heyman talking so much about Braun Breaker being like a future WrestleMania event. Imagine Braun Breaker being AJ Styles' last match at WrestleMania. Imagine him sending him off into
Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker versus AJ and Dragon Lee at WrestleMania
for the tag titles.
That is not a bad match.
No, that's not. And like I said, I mean,
write it in there. Give them. And you can even write it in that who's the Braun and Bronson. You can write it in that who's the more dominant one.
Oh, a bit of a rivalry.
Set up that kind of set up that story. Because that's gotta happen.
Yeah, because at some point they're going to have to win the tag titles.
Of course.
At some point they're gonna have to win the tag titles. At some point they're gonna have to feud
immediately. Like this, you can't have them be main event most dominant and not actually put them forward as such.
I mean, it's kind of. I mean, I'm trying to think of like a real team, a makeshift team that really had all the potential in the world. Never really took off because of outside circumstances. The one that comes to mind, and I'm sure there are many others, but the only one that comes to mind, the first thing is Awesome Truth. Now I'm talking Awesome Truth like 2024, 2025. I'm talking like Awesome Truth like in its heyday and like in 2011. What was it? 2011.
2012. So it was during the Rock versus Cena.
2011. And it's like they were set to win the tag titles, but then like you had R-Truth, you had the wellness violation, and you kind of had to write them off earlier than expected. So you had Miz turning on Truth, surprise, and it's just, I mean, I feel like they kind of it's the same thing. They had to pull the rug out from under that, and now with Seth's injury, they had to pull the rug, the big shocking thing of
so
the
now
the Bronze and Heyman turning on Seth. Now, here's the thing. I mean, what I'm curious about that is that, like, we saw this, like, impassioned promo from Becky. Like, this understated, tranquil fury-laced promo where she basically made it clear we're not surprised. Me and my husband are not surprised you turned on us. But basically, we're not going to go after you because, I mean, that would be too easy. No, we're going to burn down everything around you until there is nothing left. And I mean,
burn it down.
exactly. I mean, that's
It's the burn it down couple.
par for the course. I mean, so what I'm curious about will be, are they going to be faces when they come back, or are they going to be more of a tweener role by the time Seth comes? Honestly, I would be more comfortable with them as a tweener couple, because honestly,
Are we just going to abandon
when they were a face couple, like going up against like Lacey Evans and
Baron Corbin? God.
They themselves admitted it was just awkward. Mm-hmm. It was just really awkward. It just didn't work. It felt like that they were too focused on like, oh, like this is the first time they've been a couple on screen. Are they going to be able to really hold it together against two that really didn't have a chance in hell of being that? And it's like, but yeah. So I mean, honestly, I'd be more comfortable with them being like a tweener.
In the way that things are nowadays, in terms of what is a heel, what is a face, I feel that if you are as comfortable as you are, especially as Seth Rollins and Becky are as being heel, if you were to turn face, to be super babyface literally goes against a character. I would not. Seth will not come back and be like, I'm doing this for the fans. He's going to come back and say, I'm doing this because I am what this company needs. That is a tweener role. That doesn't have to be considered face.
All right. So, anyway, going back to the Battle Royal. Mm-hmm. Going back to the Battle Royal, so we had the notable names, including AJ, including LA Knight, including Jay and Jimmy. And, like, we've seen the continued destabilizing relationship of their partnership, their brotherhood, again. Except this time, it's Jay that's being teased as, like, turning heel.
Yep.
And, I mean, he won the Battle Royal, mainly because of Jimmy. Irony abound. And now, like, it's going to be him versus CM Punk at Saturday night's main event. Mm-hmm. Next Saturday. I think it's next Saturday.
I'm not sure.
At the upcoming Saturday night's main event for the vacant world title. Now, I mean, I feel like the outcome's pretty much set in stone here already, that Punk's winning.
Yeah.
It feels like that will be the most story-related.
Story-related. Because, I mean, unless...
Not looking forward to another Jimmy versus Jay.
Because here's the other possibility that's been kind of rattling around in my head, is that the fact that Jay has not been the target of the Vision. I mean, Jimmy's been the target of the Vision. Roman's been target of the Vision. Jay has been surprisingly kind of left out of the equation, more or less. The Vision hasn't really focused on him.
The last time because the person who's mostly in charge right now was Braun Breaker.
Right.
The last time Jay and Braun had anything was mostly for the IC title. That was Jay's first singles
and Jay
win.
has more or less chosen to stay out of the Vision's warpath.
Jay's been mostly focusing on trying to get back to where he was.
Exactly, which
didn't involve the
which
Vision.
makes me wonder.
He got speared after Punk won.
That's it.
No, that's true. That's true. I mean, it felt like more like an afterthought than anything. I mean, it also begs the question, though, could you see Jay not only turning heel, but maybe even aligning himself with the Vision, with Paul Heyman?
Considering the fact that one of the main reasons why he's turning heel is because he's listening to Roman, I feel that's going to be a no. Just in terms of joining Heyman specifically. I feel that if he were to win against Punk, it would be with Roman's help because of Braun and Braun specifically getting in Roman's face and saying, "You're old news."
Well, you know what I think? I think he may well win because of Roman, but then as he and Roman are celebrating, Heyman and company come out and said, "You see, I was initially going to listen. I was initially listening to you, but just like any good tribal chief, I needed a wise man, or in this case, an oracle. Thus, here comes Paul, here come the Bronze, and suddenly it dawns on Roman that he's been had by his own family. He basically got cajoled into helping him win a world
We
championship.
don't really need another Roman versus Jay rivalry, though.
I would prefer
honestly,
Jay versus Roman as opposed to Jay versus Jimmy.
Honestly,
Well, yeah, 'cause the match would be better.
I think that would be intriguing. It's like, okay, flip the script here, because now you got Roman as the outsider going up against Jay with a whole new faction at his fingertips.
I will say, if he comes out as a heel, he doesn't have to eat as much, so he might actually not be gassed for a match.
That's very true. So, because I was initially against it, because it's like, this dude's still mega popular. It's like you don't want to just kind of like toss that to the side, but at the same time, it's like, okay, like everyone's needed that run at some point. Like everyone, like, okay, he had a good heel run as as part of the Usos. We haven't really seen what he can do on his own as a heel. Like, so it seems like, initially I was initially against it, like when Seth was still, heading up the division, he was still world champion. But now that, the slot's open, and now that he's in the world title picture, it makes me think, are they moving up the timetable here? Are they calling an audible here and maybe saying, you know what? Let's take a chance on Jay. Let's take a chance on him. Let's put the world title on him. Let's set him up with this new faction. Because here's the thing: if Jay stays the course and just turns heel as is, okay, he and Jimmy get into a brother versus brother feud, which have always gone over so well. In WWE.
Honestly, I think they'll probably skip over Jay versus Jimmy. Jimmy will try to be the angel on the shoulder, but I think it would more than likely end up being
if anything, they'll
Jay versus Sammy.
Yeah, if anything, they'll try and run it back at Mania, which will go over went over so well the first time.
It was a versus Uso round 2. Oh no. No.
So no, because like I said, honestly, I don't know where Sammy's going to factor in. If anything, I don't know where Sammy's going to factor into that.
It's tough.
he was doing the
just
open
lost
challenge.
The belt
Yeah.
Because he's kind of doing his own thing on SmackDown, like with surrounding the U.S. title. Mm-hmm. Obviously that's not long term, since Ilya Dragunov came back, beat Sammy.
He's in the middle of
he's gonna be doing
MTDs.
The MFT, the
MFTs.
MFTs, the Samoan Spook Squad.
Oh, they didn't know what to call themselves.
Honestly, I think Samoan Spook Squad by
very just driving down on quads.
Spook Squad.
Getting some inspiration from the Mexicans.
No, Spook Squad. Yeah, no.
Sorry.
I was about to say that anyways.
I'm gonna be so misquoted.
Oh man, Tamataga's being super crazy right now.
I'm gonna be so misquoted on that. But no, it's just I don't know where Sammy's gonna factor into it. Maybe he tries to play mediator, but maybe ultimately he ends up siding with Jay.
I struggle seeing Sammy being heel at this juncture, because I feel like Sammy's become
Cena.
No, not just Cena, just quote unquote Triple H's guy. He is the guy who will always pull, even when people don't expect it. He is the underdog, like the ultimate underdog in every situation, and you don't want to.
You know what? Maybe that's true. Maybe. You know what? Maybe we see him win the Royal Rumble. Maybe we see him.
I'm thinking possibly Jay versus Sammy, because they've never had a 1v1, never had a 1-on-1 on a pay-per-view.
And then Sammy finally gets his moment in the sun, winning a Mania main event.
Sammy won IC, then Jay won World. Maybe
Sammy already had a main event.
Yeah. All right.
Kevin Owens. With Kevin Owens.
Oh God! And maybe they pulled the same thing. Kevin comes. It's like he teases it for a second.
Injury.
He teases
he's
it
gone
for a
for
second,
2 years.
and he points at him and say, "Gotcha."
Oh, I would love it. Like, you just like, here's the time, here's the little.
And he goes to throw him back on the ramp, and it's like, whoo,
He's just tugging Sammy. The two of them are getting out. The credits are there, and he's just hugging him, but looking back at the ring, and everyone's like, "No!"
And it's
then it cuts to black.
It's like he reaches down to tug him and pull him back like he did. It's like, and Sammy like goes like this, like, I'm just kidding, man.
It's the Hangman Page Kenny Omega spot at the first year of AEW where it looks like he's gonna go for it, but it's just like, come on, let's go.
All right, so I mean
that's fun. That's fun. What else?
So I mean, speaking of that, like speaking of like NXT.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, speaking of NXT and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, like the heyday.
Yeah.
Like the heyday. That's something that's been kind of on my mind for the last few months. And something I'm curious about is that, like, we've seen, like, with Triple H heading up Raw and SmackDown, basically heading up the
head of the creative.
Head of creative since Vince stepped away, obviously. Mm-hmm. And he's run a tighter ship. I mean, we've seen, like, more, like, faction focused. We've seen more focus on factions. We've seen longer term storylines. We've seen more emphasis placed on tag teams, like and women's wrestling. So obviously, like he hits all the high marks. I mean, obviously there's still like some, there's still some flubs here and there. Sometimes sometimes there are storylines that run on for too long. Nia Jax.
Nia, I still am shocked
Judgment
that Judgment Day's a thing. If not for Austin Theory's injury, I still feel that he and Grayson Waller would still be possibly breaking up. Like, in terms of tag teams, New Day had a great, like, beginning, but then once they cemented their full heel turn, we've literally lost the plot.
Because unfortunately, I mean, Xavier said it best. Big E's never going to be cleared.
Yeah.
So they're never going to get that payoff.
I mean, he could be cleared, but they're never going to take the chance of him getting it. I mean, here's the thing. I said this so many times. Bring Big E in as a general manager.
I agree.
Bring him in as bring him in as like a Mick Foley style general manager. Remember, like back in like
the commissioner.
The commish. The commish.
Mick the commish. Yeah.
Mick the commish. Commish Mick. And it's like, do that. Have him bring it as this goofball GM who's like serious with everyone else.
Oh, Team
but
Presley.
with like New Day, he's completely screwball. He's doing it to screw around with them.
Hanging out in the boiler room. Yeah.
Or hanging out in the weight room because it's Big E. Come on.
Yeah.
I would love it if he had
hanging around somewhere there was a lot of.
I would love it if he had a specific thing, just like Teddy Long. Instead of having people go one-on-one with the Undertaker, instead it's just like, all right, we need a good match. I want Rusev versus Bronson Reed because meat slapping meat.
I would love that. That would because that's just it. That's a missed opportunity right there. Like you could have had him. You could have had him making some great matches. He's over the top. He's charismatic. The audience loves the guy, and it's just like, and
what do we have right now? We have, with all due respect, Adam Pearce. All we got from him is I need a drink. I am so stressed out.
Adam 12 Steps Pierce.
Adam 12 Steps
and Nick
Pierce.
Aldis, who needs to return to the ring.
I would love. Like,
I would love to see him in WWE.
There's so many people who need to. I mean, Barrett needs to return to the ring. Aldis needs to return to the ring. We want Big E to come back to the ring. Like, obviously,
if you don't want them there to run a full program, just put them in the Rumble. Nice spots.
So the whole reason I brought this up is because it just seems like that even with the better job Triple H has obviously compared to Vince, it's still like you look at his time here, like on the main roster, headed like you said, as head of creative, and then you see him. And then you see him like, and you remember during his time during the heyday of Black and Gold and NXT, like when it was just like, for him it was a pet project, and it's just like he was freewheeling, like he could bring in anyone, everyone, like he brought in all the names. He brought in Shinsuke, he brought in Kevin Owens, he brought in Sami Zayn, Bobby Roode, like he brought in like anyone and everyone who like hardcore wrestling fans would be like, oh, I want to see this guy. I want to see this guy, or I want to see this girl. Like, I'm mad excited.
Samoa Joe,
Samoa
Joe's a big one.
Samoa Joe, and like
Undisputed Era, Red Dragon.
Oh, no, the list keeps going. Drew, Andrade.
I mean, the list goes on, and it's just like the problem is just it ended up
Probably would have brought Cody if
NXT
if
ended
AEW
amounted
didn't
to
start.
more than just a feeder program for WWE. It's basically just like
It became its own brand.
Eventually it grew to the point where it became its own brand. Problem is, Vince didn't see that. He just kept seeing it as its feeder program. So even when people, even when there were enough eyes on NXT, Vince was like, okay, no, we're doing things my way. We're scrapping what you guys did. I got a plan for so and so, and it's going to work.
Colorful tie-dye, Nickelodeon style.
Oh yeah, you didn't do well enough against.
No.
So,
mean,
the truth is that we have to remember what NXT was before Triple H got his hands on it. It was the reality show. It was Survivor.
It was a disaster.
It was terrible.
The real world, yeah.
And when they eventually did bring it over, do remember the first champion was Seth Rollins.
Right.
And the second champion was Big E. Mm-hmm. Like, he had names that he wanted. And then, unlike Vince, who wanted to bring in super athletes but have no business being in the ring, but look at them. Instead, Triple H was the one who looked to outward promotions. He was the one who was sending feeders, sending people going looking for things people that they want to bring in. He's the one that brought in Alexa Bliss, seeing her ability. Mark Henry brought in a lot of people when he saw what they could do.
Right.
He brought
Walter, i.e. Gunther.
Mm-hmm. He used his friends and gave him jobs.
Booker T has helped
scouts.
bring people in. I'm blanking. William Regal was scouting for talents too, to the point NXT
Triple H is one of Triple H's best friends.
Grabbing Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, Gunther, as was mentioned before,
Walter,
Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley was Triple H all the way.
Exactly.
You know,
like down to
colleges
music,
are now doing the NILs,
down to how she dressed, down to how she carried herself.
Roman was part of NXT while Triple H was running it, along with Seth, along with Dean. Dean was the one who had, at the time, Killer Cross.
Right.
Said, here's Triple H's number. Call him. He will help set something up. Keith Lee. Isaiah Swerve Scott.
Yeah.
Like, these are big names that if Vince bothered to ever look, we'll see how over he was. But instead, when they came up, they're like, no, I want them to be my vision, because he could never move beyond his vision.
It's his sandbox.
And because the other part of it, and this is what I feel like is starting to make Triple H to an extent, not so much is because of the backstage politics, because there's a lot more intricacies on the main roster. Like, I mean, you have sponsorships. You have arrangements in local, in local towns. You have businesses. You have a lot of people. You have a lot more eyes on the program. You have a lot more concerns about the quality of the program, about what goes on. It's not like you can deal with like certain topics, especially in a mainstream, in a social environment that is extremely sensitive.
I will also bring up the fact that because NXT did so poorly before that, when Triple H was given it, it was a pet project. Like you've mentioned that before. Because of that, he felt like he could stretch his legs, try things out. He was the one who created the credits are here, something's still about to happen. You should not look away.
Exactly.
The buzzing that people would have about wanting to talk about it, but it's still small because the only people who could at the time watch NXT were the people who had the WWE Network.
And we're at Full Sail University.
You were already fully invested into WWE to see NXT and the future. Now, he is on the main roster. It's not the people who've already dived in. It's Raw's on Netflix now.
Yeah.
Seriously, Netflix is one of the biggest streaming platforms there is, and Raw is on there. Raw is one of the first that is actually on Netflix as a live running show. They're already forerunners, But because of that, they're not the ones in charge anymore. Now they have to listen to the Netflix shareholders. They have to listen.
There you go.
Yeah. They have to listen to everyone's responses.
Endeavor
because
shareholders too.
you have to hold yourselves to a standard, not WWE's own self-choosing standard.
Right. It's no longer about like, you know, what Triple H wants. It's not about like even what the superstars want. I mean, the whole point of having like being centralized in Full Sail University was because they had all these accoutrements that, you know, superstars could go and practice their promos, could go and train. Like they had everything was within their control. And now you're just like everyone else. You're on the road. You're training on the road. You're not like you're going by everyone else's standards.
That's another thing that's also different though, because of NXT being the training grounds for a lot of things. They got rid of live shows, man. The main roster has lost their live shows. That was Vince's way of having the guys putting in the work to get better. Those are gone now. Either you're going to make it or you're not. This is now more do or die for the talent.
It's also more of preserving people's their bodies.
I mean, that's understandable. I mean, and Miz, because Miz stands out as kind of the prototype to that, because he immediately, it took him a few years, but he acclimated to the WWE, the safe WWE style, and he's still going. Like he's starting like what 2000.
Have never once been. He's been injured since.
I mean, he's been injured, but he's never been out for a prolonged period. He's been consistent. He's been there
mostly when he's out. He's usually filming a movie. But.
Exactly. He's been their go-to guy. Like when they didn't have Cena, or they didn't have like Rock when he came back in 2011. And
the same could be said about Ziggler when they had him too.
Ziggler. I mean, so basically, anytime you had like someone who needed a good high-profile win, but they didn't have any of the superstars. Miz was the go-to guy. Like you said, when he was feuding with Ziggler over the Intercontinental Championship, like when he and R-Truth were running roughshod over the roster in 20.
Even when Morrison came back, they were doing a lot of linking from one thing to another. Like they used the Miz as a stepping for Bobby to actually be in the Mania title shot.
Right. Because like Miz was never. I mean, it was basically just a way to get the Money in the Bank briefcase out of there. Because Miz was never going to be a long-term champion. It was more a way of just saying, "Thanks, Miz. Here's another championship win, but we're feeding you right to Bobby."
Honestly, I don't think he minds. I think he's just happy being there.
I was happy to see him win it then, but it's like I knew in the back of my mind, he's not going to hold it for more than a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and it was a way to get the briefcase off for Otis.
Yeah, Woody from Otis, I forgot.
And kill that gimmick.
But no.
So
I mean, you talk about the safe. You talk about that safe style. And it's like, it's a necessity at this point because look at Seth, because he took a risk and now he's on.
When he comes back, he's not going to be using that shoulder as much. Every time a person goes out with an injury, they're not going to come back the same way.
Well, yeah, I mean, you saw back in 2015 when he blew his leg out on the sunset flip powerbomb attempt.
That was bad.
On Kane. Yeah, it was very bad. And you saw the first time he did it, he froze up, and it's like, okay, very understandable. I mean, and Reigns kind of had to help him through his return match, to a great degree, and. He's not going to be the same. And honestly, I'm thinking, 2026 might be Seth's last year too, because it's like
26 or 27.
27 or okay,
I would say probably
27.
Would be
fair enough. 27 because
he's not going to go out the same year AJ is. He's got too much respect for him.
I just can't see him being around like they do the big talk, like, he's going to be around for years and years. Like, no.
I feel his wrestling is going to diminish to the point where not to the same degree as Roman, but he won't wrestle every night. He'll wait pay-per-view, maybe 2 pay-per-views, and then 3, and he'll slowly phase out. I see him as a WWE long stay, but I don't see him keeping up his wrestling.
It's like what they did with John. Like eventually, when they were eventually easing him into part time, it's like, okay, okay, obviously now like he's wrestling fewer matches. He's spending more time in Hollywood. Like he's going off and making movies. We can kind of see the writing on the wall. John's kind of on his way out, and that's why like you barely saw him. Like you saw him maybe like for that little match at Undertaker at WrestleMania. Like you saw him like popping up here and there, more or less just to say hi or maybe bring back the whole Dr. Thugonomics thing for a cup of coffee. And it's like, okay, it's good. It's fun, but it's like we can see what's going on here. John's on his way out.
Yeah. So we're this topic's around Triple H from when he started with his pet project NXT versus where he is now.
Right.
I want to get your guys' opinion specifically. Obviously, this is not a question of his booking ability versus Vince, but his booking ability when Vince left to where his booking is now. Better, same, or worse?
Well, I mean, initially when he started out, I mean, better. Because, I mean, it was better than... I mean, I know you said not to convert.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So, I mean, it's just like, obviously, given just how everyone was just always railing on Vince's lack of creativity, his stale creative process, it's like almost anyone who comes in, by comparison, is going to stand out. And here's the thing. He certainly did. Like I said, he started... doing more long-term storylines, like, with the Bloodline. Mm-hmm. He started focusing on factions, like the Bloodline, like Judgment Day, and the Vision, and so on and so forth.
LWO.
LWO, to a lesser extent.
Yeah.
And, I mean, then, like, you focus on longer championship runs, like with Lesnar, and Roman, and Seth. And it's like, that's great. He's more focused on long term. He's not just jumping from champion to champion. They're not there's no paper champions. Everyone's getting legitimate runs here. That's
with
great.
the exception of the Austin Theory, right?
Right, and then like you see a more increased focus on tag teams. You see a more increased focus on women's wrestling, including the introduction of the women's tag team titles, which have kind of like the
women's tag titles have always been a mixed bag.
There's
always been ups and downs.
Right, there's never been like a concrete storyline surrounding the women's tag team titles, and I think that's the initial frustration. It's just like you're basically just like slapping two women together and having them go after the tag titles.
There is no legitimate. These two women should be together as a team, and leave them as that until.
Yeah, there's no.
This is always two separate single women stars that we're putting together to be a tag team for this specific
right,
moment.
who are ultimately going to end up breaking up and feuding with each other. And
yeah, it's just
Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, we thought.
Yeah, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, or basically anyone who teams up with Trish or Lita. Like when they bring them back for a cup of coffee, and it's. I mean, it's great that I mean, obviously the Usos versus Kevin and Sammy.
That was so good.
So good, and it's just like. It's great that you got all this focus, and now like you got the separate tag titles now. You got the SmackDown tag team division, which is flourishing. You got all these different teams. You got Fraxium. You got the Street Profits.
DIY.
You got
the Guns.
You got DIY.
Motor City Machine Guns. I was still surprised that they came over as well.
I'm surprised Shelley's even back wrestling. That dude left the business.
Yeah.
Became a paramedic.
And then you go to Raw, which is like, okay, yeah, they got a tag team division, but it's kind of a mess, right?
It's kind of the Judgment
really
Day.
A mess.
It's really a mess.
It's a New Day who didn't have anywhere to go. You have the Judgment Day.
And basically the only reason you have the tag team titles on Judgment Day is because there's no one really stepping up. Because no one's really behind the War Raiders, who have finally gone back to their actual name.
Alpha Academy. They kind of forgot they were even there. I mean,
then you have American Made, which I'm sorry. I mean, I respect their creative process, but whoever named this group out of a secondary character from the Tick needs to have their brain examined.
See that? Halloween's coming up. Maybe we should have Chad Gable dressed as the Tick. Or better yet, Arthur. Just dressed up as Arthur and said, I wanted to be the Tick.
I mean,
he's so used to dressing up. Los Grandes Americanos.
If anyone gets that reference we just made, God bless you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean now, now comparing when he first started. All right, so 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's obviously now he's hidden some. Triple H is obviously just like with anyone who heads up creative, he's hit some bumps.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna say worse.
Say roughly around the same.
I want to say he's kind of plateaued.
That's what I'm saying too.
I would think of it
he's not going downhill.
No,
he's just
he's kind of plateaued. He's kind of
over a few years.
Kind of like Razor Ramon before he went to WCW.
So basically,
kind of plateaued.
Basically, here he was. Okay, when he took over, good, great, and now he's kind of he's kind of a lot of dips.
Yeah. Well, you have to this is first off, as much as I want to give him credit for the bloodline, that's Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns. Those are the two real creative minds behind it, and Triple H trusts Paul Heyman implicitly.
That's true.
So I'm not surprised about that.
No.
Keeping Sammy in there, I don't know whose idea that was. Possibly
Probably
Roman's.
Vince.
And Vince wanted him gone after a while. I remember that.
Yeah, Vince was.
According to Sammy, Vince was
Sammy
was Vince's guy apparently.
When
he turned heel.
Considering the fact that especially during
According to Sammy.
COVID era, or even just a little bit before that, he was using Sammy as a mouthpiece instead of a wrestler. Ask Sammy anything, where it's you could have asked me about AEW. He was
the conspiracy theorist character. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, but during that time, he built up Rhea. Rhea was a big shining beacon for a while.
Oh, you're talking Hunter, yeah.
And then initially when Rhea got up to WWE, Vince just drove her into the ground.
She was literally stuck in tag team matches.
Stuck in tag team matches, like you said, pointless tag team. I mean, yeah, she was a tag team champion, but ultimately they never went anywhere. And every single time, her tag title runs would end, she ended up feuding with whoever her partner was.
I will say, you got to remember, when Triple H took over the books, Dominic joined Rhea. And that was such a big boon for Dom.
You got the next generation of Eddie Guerrero in China.
Yeah.
It was genius. And we've literally seen Dominic Mysterio evolve he's getting cheered now. He's getting pops.
He's doing the Eddie Guerrero stuff. He beat Rusev.
and everyone loves it.
I mean, that's his dad. I mean, that's his dad.
Yes.
I'm your papi.
I know. It's just
I fucking love. I just watched that.
I know. And just I mean, I was happy for him when he won the AAA Mega Champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the kids had such a great run in 2025.
We're getting to the point. It's very possible that Dominic might be the final match against John Cena.
I mean, maybe
Braun could do it.
Wouldn't mind it.
Yeah.
But honestly, I was listening to. It was either Busted Open or Not Sam Wrestling. It's I don't want Cena to lose. He doesn't need to lose. I don't care.
Here's the thing. It's the old adage in professional wrestling.
Yeah, you give back.
If you are going to go out, you go out on your back. It's been the same. I mean, Ric Flair lost his final match. Shawn Michaels
won his final match.
In WWE, okay, Rick has
he knocked out Jeff Jarrett.
Rick has made it clear that
he wishes that was it.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Well, I mean, he had a heart attack.
That basically, TNA and everything afterwards, he would rather forget about. He's gone on record stating that he would rather forget that.
Well, the TNA one, yes.
Okay, so
he wanted to have
WWE,
the Jim Crockett match.
His final match. I'm talking WWE. WWE continuity. Rick lost his final match in WWE.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shawn Michaels lost his final match in WWE. I mean,
Undertaker did not.
I am not. I swear, if you count the tag match,
It's not a tag match.
It was supposed to be just an easy night with the boys.
It was supposed to be. Oh yeah, it was supposed to be an easy night. It was supposed to be an easy payday. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Plus, I'm sorry, him.
The Boneyard match was his last match.
Undertaker's final
Undertaker's
match.
fine.
Undertaker. Boneyard.
He actually did. Yeah, he actually went out on top.
He went out on top. He beat AJ.
But that's also because he couldn't have a proper match. It had
Because
to
it
be
was COVID.
cinematic. Yeah.
Right,
Because it was COVID.
It had to be a cinematic match. So I mean, look, I'm saying the majority.
Plus
of
the
wrestlers-
appearance from.
No, I totally get it. Like the Dudleys, they mentioned like you go out on your back, you give the bump to someone else.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So
And they gave their boots.
So
yeah.
I mean, if John's gonna go out, he needs to go. He like.
Like, yeah. If
Unless
anybody.
he gets talked out of it like Sting did.
Yeah.
But we'll
Whatever.
honestly see what we.
If anybody deserves it, it would be Cena or Taker.
The way I've seen it is,
Maybe Sting.
I was always on the record of I didn't want him to have the one over Rick. I wanted them to kind of be tied. The way he had the past and the present collide, but they put it on him because we're going to be honest. Ric Flair doesn't have many years left, and when that happens, you want the mouthpiece of the greatest to ever do it to be a guy who has nothing but nice things to say. No one has a bad thing to say about John Cena.
No.
As a person.
No.
We're not talking about wrestling ability.
We're not talking about wrestling ability. We're not talking about backstage politics. We're not talking about any of that. We're talking about as a
Not talking about
personal-
who married who.
as a conscionable being. He is a great person.
Batista, The Rock, John Cena. The three big names that people will know outside of WWE because of their acting ability.
Right.
Every single one of them will not have a bad thing to say about WWE at this point.
No.
I mean, The Rock owns a part of it.
Pretty much. Well,
Yeah.
he owns the parent company, so yeah. So
Well, he's on the board. But
I mean,
On the board.
So we're talking about John Cena. I mean, we're talking about the final run. We're talking about like who should be the one to beat him in his last match. So, but I mean, focusing on his run overall, I gotta say, wasted opportunity.
Yeah.
It's
At time of this recording, he has 4 dates left.
Yeah,
One of them's gonna be
as of October 25th, he has 4
more dates.
4 more dates.
Not 4 more matches. 4 more dates.
And
So
after
4 more
that,
appearances.
that's
At
it.
least 2 of them will be matches. Because he is supposed to show up at Survivor Series and then his final appearance in December, which people consider has to be a match, a final opponent for him.
Right.
So,
So I mean, not even at Mania, which I think is insulting. It's
his
like
final Mania, he won.
because
the
I know
title.
WrestleMania is not his marquee show per se, but it's like still like you would want him to go out on the biggest stage, and you would want someone to be elevated on the biggest stage by going over someone like Cena. It's not like you could just say, like he went over Cena in his last match. Yeah, he did it at a
I think
Saturday
he wanted
Saturday
it to
night
be this
main event.
last.
That part feels insulting. Saturday Night Main
Yeah.
Event, if not WrestleMania, a big 4.
I mean, I'm happy they brought the concept back. Don't get me
but
wrong.
they
but
had
at
to
the
bring
same-
it back, which means that it's not going to get the same love as the long-lasting ones.
Right.
That's the thing. Saturday Night Main Event doesn't feel like anything to me, which is unfortunate. I've watched it for a long time. I remember the Saturday Night events. We also remember that those were never the big marquee shows. No. It's just filler. I don't want it to be.
They're glorified house shows.
Yeah, they're using.
It was when they were
they're-
bringing up the company, but
They're televised house shows.
at this point.
like it was almost like an in your house. Yes, in your house. I know was pay per view, but
No, I
Still.
get what you mean. Because In Your House, and then In Your House 2, and then In Your House 3, and stuff like that. I get it.
back in the day where it was.
I mean, the heel turn just felt
The moment felt exciting.
exactly.
fine.
It was shocking. I mean,
But
high shock value.
I understand what the story is behind it, but if you didn't have a plan to follow through with it, Rock, or whoever asked Rock to do it, don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't just give
Don't
us.
bring in a Travis Scott
Who was
if you
shit.
don't have any plans to keep using him. Because those are just literally swords of Damocles holding over the entire run.
And then, so yeah, you just had John coming out. I mean, initially he gave a very shocking.
I love the promo. I love the initial stuff.
The initial
before
program?
the Cody
I liked
match. And John Cena obviously can talk.
Right.
He knows how to get the people
And-
against him or with him.
And initially he got them against him.
Oh, 100%. I love that.
But then, like, when he started coming out and repeating the same promo ad infinitum, the problem is eventually the crowd just sort of tuned out and just went back to the whole, like, John Cena sucks thing. They just, it was back to business as usual. Like Cena lost them. And it's just...
Sorry.
No, sorry.
You're correct on that. The initial promo, he 100% called everyone correct, because the moment he turned heel, everyone was going, oh, that's amazing. What is his new outfit going to look like? What's his new intro, the new music? Is he going to go back to the original one? And he immediately said, I'm not changing anything. That's my voice on that intro. I keep it. I'm dressing the way I do now, because I don't dress like you idiots. You dress like me.
Right.
Literally pointing out their faults in what they wanted out of him versus what he wanted out of it.
Right.
The problem is, right before SummerSlam, he said, yeah, this isn't working out. There was not even a turn. It's just he called out that this was dumb from the get-go, and he's just going to be a face again. Why? Because you wanted to have the matches against your former heel guys who are now faces? So now you get to have your match with Cody as a heel, Randy as a heel, Punk as a heel? R-Truth, and then he was even calling R-Truth out, saying, you guys got behind this guy. He's not going to make it. He's not a main eventer. You just lost one of your dates by having me deal with this guy. None of it felt like an appropriate final run. This should not have been his final run. This should have been the year before his final run.
Yeah.
The fact that they announced it, I mean, you could basically... It telegraphed everything. It telegraphed the fact that he was going to win the championship, the fact that he was going to lose the championship somewhere down the road, and maybe tease a final match with him at Rock, possibly at Survivor Series. Then, like, he has his little walk off into the sunset at Saturday night's main event or whatever final show he was going to be on, and then you know what? Okay, fine. But the fact that he announced it, the fact that WWE announced it, it's like you're taking all the air out of it. Basically, whatever is going to happen, even if they, with the benefit of hindsight, even looking back on it now, okay, the heel turn loses a lot of its impact because it's like, okay, obviously they're going to have to do something we wouldn't expect. Like, I mean, they could come out and play. They could come out, do the greatest hits every night in and night out, and people would still go for it. And, I mean,
because the last time you see it,
exactly. Or they could do something truly shocking, but it's like, okay, but we know if it's his last year, then in the long run, it's not going to be all that shocking. And it just like you said, it felt like a waste.
Yeah, I personally feel everyone turned on that Mania match. Because John Cena can talk people into the building, but because of how long it's been, he's never had to be the aggressor. His match style is always he has to be the underdog. He's the one who gets worked over until he pulls out at the end.
Right.
And all of a sudden, he now has to be the one working over Cody Rhodes. He's the one, he doesn't know how to do it. So what does he do? He relies on the typical heel wrestling abilities. Rest holds. The walking around, jaw-jacking with the crowd. He's not an entertaining heel
here's the thing. 10, 15 years ago, that would have...
Possibly, yeah.
That would have worked.
Minute and a half left.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. You get over it. We are being told that if we want to keep it at an hour, we have a minute and a half left, and I was told you mentioned before we have lives outside of this. Come here.
We've already been on the show anyways.
She's been
I don't want to.
For
Right
what,
there.
2 people?
Come on down.
Hello. I'm trying not to show you on camera.
Yes. We have a daughter.
Yeah.
Yep.
She exists now.
She exists now.
Wow.
So, thank you for telling me we have a minute and a half left to make it at the hour.
Sam blur out the baby's face.
Please. Impossible.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. But yeah, it all just it just didn't work.
It feels like the final run now gets to start at Cody versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam.
Right.
We feel it. It feels like the real run.
Everyone called it a fever dream, and that's basically what it was.
Yeah.
It was a 3-4 month long fever dream.
Cena turned face. R-Truth went back to being face again too.
Went back to being the goofball.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And honestly, we had John Cena's best match in a very long time with AJ Styles, and now everyone's talking about how happy we are that we get to see something like that
for the last time. It's like suddenly now we're getting the run we expected, and now
4 dates are left.
It's just like, huh?
If you want to think about final runs, where if they're going to be in the background, or you want them doing something interesting, they could have taken inspiration from Jushin Thunder Liger. He also called out a final run, and he was going to different promotions, NXT included, having final matches in places that aren't his home, but still promoting his home. Imagine if John Cena had gone to TNA and had an actual match there.
Yeah. It's a novel concept. And
even if it's just John Cena versus AJ. AJ's return too.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll never know. Maybe they might do that with AJ in 2026, but maybe
who knows?
They may have the chance to go down that road with him, but with Cena, it's
kind of passed.
Yep. 4 dates are more or less set in stone at this point. Mm-hmm. So, best we can do is just sit back and watch.
Enjoy the ride that's been provided to us.
Watch Cena ride off into the sunset.
He did. Let's be very clear here. As a wrestling performer, he did not say he's never going to show up again.
Right.
He's just not going to be in his gear.
He's just not going to be. He's not going to be there to have matches. He'll be there to talk someone down.
He's going to be an ambassador.
Address the crowd. Maybe give an AA or two.
Right.
But that's it. He is then. Then he'll probably be Hall of Famed. Mm-hmm. Ooh, Hall of Fame John Cena either next year or the year after that. It'll have to be the year after that.
I think
year after that, because I think they want to have Steph as the front runner for this year.
I think that were they focusing on an all female Hall of Fame this year?
We haven't.
I know they were doing that at some point.
But
they want to do that at some point.
They might be doing it this year.
Yeah.
Calling you now, John Cena Hall of Fame 2027.
No, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I'm all for it. Sign me up. All right. So speaking of signing, we got to sign out. We've hit our hour mark.
We've hit our
quota.
filled our quota for the month. So hopefully it won't be another.
Kevin Dunn is hitting the go home button.
Hopefully it won't be another 4 or 5 months before we can do.
We'll see.
Hopefully we can do this again before WrestleMania, at least before WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. But in the meantime, like I said, make sure to check us out on the WCTV YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. We'll finally have our episodes posted.
Hey,
we'll also
you're going to have a double header coming up soon.
Yeah, double header. Very, very,
don't forget
very soon.
our YouTube channel.
Double dose of connection, and of course on our channel, the Wrestling Connections YouTube channel, and of course you can check us out on our official The Wrestling Connection website, thewrestlingconnection.com.
It's not updated, yeah.
Of course, you can check us out on our Twitter. We don't call it X, we call it Twitter. But yes, you can check us out on all our social media outlets. So in the meantime, we hope to see you again very soon. And as always, be connected, get connected,
stay connected.
Stay connected.
Have a good night, everybody.
And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Oh, now you show up.
I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me.
Oh yeah!